Welcome to the podcast for Paper Planes Part 2. Tonight was yet again another very good episode, although it did have some negatives, but the positives outweighed those. First off, we have the Anya storyline, which once again in Part 2 was done fantastically. I loved that they ended it without a resolution and kind of a subtle ending, She's back in the club party type thing, and she's with that guy, and find out what happens next time. So I like that they didn't wrap it up all neat and tidy, which is great. I think it's way too interesting of a plot line to end so suddenly, so I'm very glad that it will keep going. I was kind of upset with the lack of Owen in this episode. Him and Anya work really well together and have great chemistry, so I'm hoping we're going to get a lot more scenes with them in the future, and hopefully he'll help her with her addiction to coke if it does get that bad. So we'll see what happens. I mean, typically on Degrassi we have characters who go through drug problems who last, an episode or two and it's over. So maybe with the Anya one it will, last until graduation. Another thing about the Anya storyline was the mention of LARPing. A lot of people were wondering, what happened to the LARPing. It was brought up again tonight, so there is my typical continuity shout out for the show of my podcast, talking about LARPing. I almost thought for a minute that there were cameras in the interviewer's office, and that when Anya did the coke in there, they would have found out by watching like security footage or something, because he said don't touch anything when he was going to get her transcripts, which made me believe that there was, valuable stuff in there, and it was guarded by a security camera. So I thought that maybe, they would have found out she did coke or something. The Fiona storyline was a big positive for me in the past episodes, but tonight kind of turned into sort of a negative, mainly because the relationship with Charlie now is over just as it was getting started. I don't understand why they couldn't have had, Charlie help her with the addiction or whatever. And yeah, Charlie's in college people drink, but they made it sound like, that's her whole life. I can't be around you if you don't drink. I don't think that's true. A lot of people don't drink. I don't really know about that. And Fiona said she didn't want to change her. I mean, is it really that hard to not drink around Fiona? I mean, maybe it is. I guess eventually that could put some strain on their relationship, but I think they could have worked through it and figured something out. And I'm pretty upset that that storyline is already over. It's really cool seeing Eli and Fiona interact. They had a great scene tonight, talking about Fiona's addiction. They're kind of, unlikely. You would never really expect them to talk, but they have great chemistry together. Great, both of them, great acting. The lines, everything comes across as, so true and accurate. It's always nice seeing them. The past few episodes, seeing them together has been great. As for the Connor storyline, it was really heartbreaking. He doesn't know necessarily what he's doing is wrong or why it's wrong, and he doesn't know how to act and whatnot. And just to hear Mr. Simpson give him a suspension and how he reacted, it was just really heartbreaking to watch. And then when he was yelling at Mr. Simpson to let him go and stuff, it was just something that started off as kind of silly, creepy, weird, funny, turned into emotional, upsetting, shocking. Tomorrow we are getting cake and more with the Drew storyline. Both of them I have been anticipating. It's going to be really exciting to see, Drew and his return to trying to have a normal life, and Claire, working on getting a new boyfriend and having some cake. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all tomorrow. Degrassi Extra. What if Anya's mom had opened up the little locket and she saw it was cocaine and she was like, oh, hey, I do that also. I just, obviously very unrealistic. What if? What if Fiona had drank champagne tonight? What if Anya's mom found the cocaine in the locket and did some herself? What if Connor was not the only one behind stealing the ladies' underpants? And why does Miss O take showers at Degrassi? Those are my outrageous, semi-serious,